get power to everything, turn on the air sep, get gas flow going. When you're ready, turn on the injector pump. And then when you're prepared for ozone, just come and hit the start button on the control panel. Quick walkthrough on the operation. First we have 2 extension cords. The black extension cord is for the pump. That feeds a 20 amp circuit breaker here with the gray knob on it. The orange circuit breaker goes to the 15 amp, the orange extension cord goes to the 15 amp circuit breaker. That 15 amp circuit breaker feeds the 4-gang receptacle, which powers the air sep, the ozone generator, the interface panel, and the destruct off of that. That has a 15 amp maximum. This has a basic control system on it. If I can get it to focus. You have a start and a stop button. Can't really see it. Start and stop. That's just the operator control when you want to make ozone. And when you hit start, it's not going to start unless all the interlocks are clear. If you go to this page, the alarm list will turn red or green based on if there's any alarms that are active in it. So if I click on that button, I can see that right now it's not calling for ozone because the ORP dosing, is still red. Everything else is green. And this, right now we've got it jumpered out on the ambient, and the vacuum switch and the external run signals are just jumpered. Those could be wired up in the field should they be needed. So right now it's not going to call for ozone because the ORP is below set point or above set point. So for example, if I connect the interlock for the the ORP, as soon as I make that connection, that turns green. Relay number 2 on the Signet ORP turns red, indicating that it's calling for ozone. I currently have it set for an ORP of 600, so we're below that and it turns it on. Once you go back to the interface panel, if everything's green, you notice that the alarm list then turns green. Now, if I call for ozone if I hit start, ozone starts, and it says ozone on, and you notice the ozone generator will now begin making ozone. The outlet will be throttled so that you get the proper pressure on the contacting system up here. You want to make sure this gets full of water. So if you have the discharge fully open, it may or may not fill this up with water. So you want to throttle the discharge so that you get the contact chamber all the way up to the ball to float the ball to get maximum contacting. The inlet most likely would be open all the time. I'm not sure about that. Depends on the application, I guess. This port will go to the ozone ORP sensor. Will go here. When you do startup, you'll have to take that blue cap off. You've got an inlet pressure gauge right before the pump and before the venturi. Actually, the pressure gauge you got here before the venturi is right here. And then after that, you've got discharge pressure gauge will give you the post-venturi pressure. Off-gassing system comes out of the top of the contact tank through a 1/4-inch line into the P-trap or the water trap. This will need to be kept full of water. The water is filled up right here, and you'll just fill it up essentially until you get a little bit of water spilling out of it. Anywhere up in here is probably adequate. If you're working around this area, be careful. This does get warm. It's not super hot. I've had it on for a while now. I can grab it. It only gets up to slightly over 100 degrees. Depends on the ambient conditions. But it does get warm, so be cautious around that. Ozone generator, power switch. is here. You turn it on. You need to adjust the output of the ozone. You do that with this knob. Ideally, you would adjust that to where you had a duty cycle, not 100%. You don't want the ozone running non-stop, otherwise you may never hit set point. So you want to ramp the generator up enough to where you can hit set point and have the generator shut off periodically to go into standby, let the ORP come down, and then turn back on. So just find a happy medium there that'll let the ozone turn on and off periodically through the day. So there's your air sep. Gas flow on that is limited so that we don't overdrive the air sep. We typically don't set it there. We want to make sure that our gas flow is approximately around 8 cubic feet per hour indicated, and the pressure, I like to keep it at between 10 and 12 psi. It will fault if it gets down to about 7 psi. You adjust that pressure is adjusted with the knob under here on the discharge ozone. You adjust that to set your ozone pressure in the cells. Keep that at about 10 to 12 psi. If you need a little bit more flow so you can maintain your pressure, then you can open up the one on the air sep slightly. That'll get your flow up and also be able to maintain pressure as well. When you're ready to stop ozone, just hit your stop button. Ozone shuts off. Let it purge for a time. Then you would come over here if you're ready to stop your ozone pump, and then do the final shutdown. Switch off the air sep.